Hey there, my name is Chris Mango, and I'm the creator of Mango Mischief, a satirical, retro-style JRPG that's available for PC on Steam. If you're watching this video, you're about to see me playing my own game, showing off shortcuts and going into detail about the development process and intentions with essentially every aspect of Mango Mischief. So I think it's fair to say spoiler alert. If you'd like to play my game before watching this, the Steam link is in the description. I hope you enjoy my playthrough and commentary. Alright. It is time for another episode. I guess we're going to be moving on to episode 14 now. Episode 14. 14th save file. Let's switch this back to the regular battle animation speed. It's not hard to navigate through this maze area without hitting a white or black spiral, but I do want to do one black spiral and one white spiral, just so I can talk a little bit more about these enemies. The enemies here in the Cedar Slimes are essentially a sort of doppelganger, or each one is a sort of doppelganger, compared to different classes that Sprig, Marion, Marrow, or Arak might experience. You see here there's a Soother, Archon, and Chanter. These aren't the same names as the different classes that our battlers have, but they use many of the same spells or skills. And so you can see here, we need to be a little bit careful with the elements we're using. We could do super effective damage, we could end up accidentally healing them. But if you look at every skill that these little slimes end up using, you'll notice that their skills are exactly the same types of skills that our battlers use. Bewitch, Nutricoda, these are all going to be different skills that either we already have access to, or that we eventually end up getting access to as we increase our Master Tier levels. Maxi Heal, that's certainly one of Arak's skills, etc. Let's see if we can focus on this individual here. Now, of course, I can start abusing the colors of them. Like, for example, well, this yellow slime, the Gel Enchanter, just used a Thunder attack. So that obviously tells me that it's Ice Imbued. Now, is this the absolute best attack for this? I'm not sure. But it definitely did a lot of damage. Let's see. Do we have an Earth attack here? We don't. What if we did just Technoslash? Critical hit. Healing again. So we definitely want to use some rock moves against this wind element, this green one right here. Almost dead. Maybe Bullseye? Almost dead. Earth Chaos should finish off this slime or gel right here. Good, more than enough damage. That was a black spiral, I think. So now we'll find a white spiral as we get closer to the edge. Here's a white spiral. I would definitely recommend checking out all the chests. They're pretty good. Let's do Reap the Whirlwind, because maybe we'll get to hit this Guardian over here. And let's see if we can focus down this Guardian. Lumomancial, we've seen that plenty of times from Marrow and Arak. Vanquish is obviously a Sprig skill. Let's do something like Judgment. Maybe this can hit everyone for some decent HP. Oh, that was pretty good. What else do we want to do? Well, I can't afford Umbraquad or Umbromancial, but I can afford Umbromancy on this gray, light little slime over here. Dark Chaos might end up hitting the light monster. It did not, but that's okay. How about Marrow? Umbracoda on this light monster would be really good. Nice, some strong or massive light damage. Vanquish again. I believe this is Fire type, this Gel Blade Master here. So I'd like to use some water attacks if possible. I don't remember if I have a water weapon. I do not. You'll notice I'm literally doing no damage. And the reason why is because in Cedar Slimes and Goo Grotto, these gels, in fact, all of the slime type, gel type, lung type monsters we're going to see this episode have very high physical defense, but reasonably low magic defense, especially if you abuse their weakness. So in the same way that last episode in Whelmhelm Realm, things like Death by a Dozen Cuts, Double Recoil, and Triple Recoil were great because they were very strong physical skills. Now we're going to be focusing more on a very strong magic skills. Please do not harm me, for I do not wish to fight any of you. You can talk? Why, of course I can, young man. You seem so very astonished by this fact. How come all your slimy buddies keep attacking us? It wouldn't be a proper JRPG without slime enemies. Facts. You are uninvited human interlopers, and they are simply protecting our king, a noble slime who lives in this grotto. I can respect the importance of protecting a king at all costs. We are on a similar mission, to find our king and bring him home safely. Oh? Do go on. We also need to find some medallions to convince the king to help us out when we do find him. Your Slime King doesn't happen to know where any medallion pieces are, does he? If I give you information about a medallion piece, will you give me your word that you will not kill our king? Oh, we don't kill most baddies. We just knock them out and take their stuff. I'm not sure how reassuring that is, Marrow. A little creepy. Okay, Marrow, that's a little creepy. Slime, you have my word that we will not kill your king. We just want to retrieve medallion pieces. Very good then. Our king is the keeper of a medallion piece. Ever since he won it in a tournament, intruders have been invading our homes and trying to take it from him. If you could kindly best him in battle, then I would imagine that we would finally be left alone. Sounds good to us. Which medallion does he have? Our king's resilience in battle has earned him half of the soul medallion. Of course, as we talked about at the end of last episode, that is right up Marrow's alley, especially since this is going to be all about different elemental attacks, and Marrow's the one with all 8 elemental spells. You may enter into the grotto behind me and search for him, but I must warn you that it is dark, and my brethren will be looking to foil your plan. Thanks for the help, Mr. Slime. My name is actually Sebastian Alistair von Cedric. Oh wow, that's a long name. The Third. I didn't expect a slime to have such an interesting name. Well, surely you must admit that merely calling a slime slime is a tad unimaginative, if not purely tautological, yes? Cough, Dragon Quest, cough. Point taken, Sebastian. Thank you for your help. Best of luck, humans, and please permit me to heal your wounds before you proceed. And I'm pretty sure there's a little invisible barrier here, where the spirals will not affect you as well. If we go inside... It's pitch black in here! Our blue Everflame, it's glowing! Well, what do you know? It looks like we'll be able to walk around in the dark after all. I really like how each of these treasures ends up providing a useful function for us as we progress through our journey. It would be pretty silly if we spent all our time retrieving items that just sit in our inventory and serve no actual purpose. Anyways, let's go find some medallions. And if you want to return back, you can always talk to this wonderful slime here. And you may heal again. So, he's the equivalent of a gold statue in this case. We've got some vision here thanks to the Everflame. As you can see here, you can see the king on the right side with the gold statue. It's going to take us a little while to get there. We have to, of course, take the long way around. That way we verse a couple more enemies. I'll show you some tricks to deal with only the mandatory battles. You'll need to verse one of these red spirals to get through. At the beginning, each of the first 4 battles have an elemental duality. As you can see here, we've got like 2 fires and 2 waters. So if we're using things like Hydromancy, you're going to be healing 2 and hurting 2. So there's obviously going to be a trade-off here. So it might be in your best interest to try to kill a pair first, or use potentially neutral elements if you don't want to heal any enemies. But at the same time, it might be worth it to just use as many all-elementals as possible. Whatever strategy you want to use. Let's see, let's use Flow Like Water on the Fire Gel. Again, we're doing a ton of damage here. I'm going to take out these 2, and yes, I'll heal the waters, but the amount you heal is not nearly as much as the amount of damage you do. I have the weaknesses a lot more exaggerated than the amount that they heal. Let's do Lumaquad, just so I can get 4 hits off. Critical hit, 857, 920, 1340 critical hit. Right, these are not super effective shots right there. Let's try Elite Beat. Not great damage, but the great damage comes from, again, abusing those elemental weaknesses. That is a recurring theme, whether it's through physical attacks, like in Wilhelm Realm, or magic attacks, like in this Goo Grotto. really focusing on your elemental weaknesses can be really, really helpful. Here we've got Earth versus Wind. So Wind Chaos against the Wind enemies is going to heal. So this was a waste, unfortunately. But obviously Wind attacks against the Earth are going to do some pretty serious damage. You'll do even more serious damage if you, for example, use Concentrate on the entire party. If you if you raise the magic attack on the entire party, is that? Oh, it's actually Accentuate and Ascendancy. We could do that. Let's raise everyone's magic attack. That way it might be more likely to one-shot certain enemies. Because again, magic is going to be the way to go here. Magic attacks. What if we try something like... See, if I do Wind Chaos... Well, these are already at full health, so healing them afterwards wouldn't really do anything. Maybe I can pick off at least one of these. Like that. 11,000. 11,000. Awesome damage. Geomancy all should do a lot of damage, because the magic attack has been raised. Almost one-shotted. And that gives us a nice setup for Earth Chaos, which will definitely hit a Wind enemy. Those are the other ones left. Alright, a little redundant there, that's okay. And, maybe Umberclad, just so I can hit 4 times. Maybe that'll be enough. That should definitely be enough. Awesome. So next up, I think we have Ice and Lightning. Let's maneuver around a couple spirals here. You can escape the, at least some of these battles, I think. Yeah, escape is an option. So if you, accidentally run into, an enemy that's kind of chasing you, you can certainly escape if you want. In fact, I might end up doing that a little bit here, just so we can make this battle, or this, episode reasonably short. In fact, I might be able to show you a trick or two when, the path ends up being very, very narrow towards the bottom left of the screen, or of the maze. Alright, so looks like it still makes sense to pick off the ice enemies before the thunder enemies. Again, it should be very clear exactly what elements we're talking about here. Thunder Chaos, let's try that. 0 for 1. Okay, 1 for 2. That works. Let's do Cryomancy Alt. I know we're going to heal this ice monster, but we're doing a ton of damage over here. Is there any way for me to pick off this ice gel? Does Execution do enough? Not quite. Nutrimancy Alt? At least that'll do something. Still not enough yet. But Call Down the Thunder should be more than enough. You'll notice here that while Marrow can really pick off any of the gels, regardless of their elemental weaknesses, Sprig will pretty much take care of half, and Marion will take care of the other half. So, like, here we've got Ice Chaos. So, Sprig can take care of the Thunders in the same way that Marion took care of the Ice enemies. And maybe finish it off with Nutrimancy? Not quite. What if we just use something like Bullseye? Is that strong enough? Okay. Level 3 still. Almost level 4. Light and Dark. Obviously the wheelhouse of Iraq now. But let's see if Marion and Sprig can contribute any. Alright, so given that we've already started working on the light enemies, let's continue working on the light enemies. We'll do some Umbermancy before we do anything else. Let's risk it and do Light Chaos. Let's see what happens here. We hit a dark enemy, and we recovered a little bit of HP, but I don't think that really matters that much. Umbermancy All. That should take out these two, maybe? Not quite. Let's try Bullseye on this one. Will that be enough? Oh, she must have a dark weapon on. That is, not good. Let's, continue narrowing down these. Again, you can see there's kind of a give and take here. Will Execution do a decent amount of damage? Okay, not terrible. Let's use Lumimancy All. Let's try Dark Chaos. Not ideal. Yes, ideal. And let's just finish the Dark Gel off with Lumimancy. Alright, so those are the 4 different pairings of gels. Obviously, they're going to be rearranged in different ways, too. Sometimes I'll switch to the arrows as opposed to the mouse in these mazes, because it's a little bit easier to navigate in terms of pathing. But here's a statue already. So we've got some options here. We can stay right here, which is what we're going to do. If we wanted to travel to Sebastian, who is right in front of the Goo Grotto, we can use this option, or we could travel all the way back to the beginning of Cedar Slimes, which we'll eventually do. Hey everyone, hold on a second. Arak, what's on your mind? Oh, I just figured that we were close to finding the Slime King. Why would you think that? Did you see something in the darkness? Well, we just passed another gold statue. You mean the ones that magically heal us and are conveniently located right before important battles for some strange reason? Exactly. Nah, that's gotta be a coincidence. I think you might be overthinking things. Fair enough. So now we've got 4 different elements, just to continue messing with any strategies you might have for different pairings. I think Marion had a light weapon, so that'll be irrelevant here. Let's just use something like Technoslot, see if we can do a little bit of damage to everyone. Alright, that really wasn't a lot. If Sprig still has the same weapon on that he did during Wilhelm Realm's boss, he had a wind weapon at the time, because they were earth and dark. So if I do Aeromancy and focus on this earth gel, then I think Sprig should be able to finish off this earth gel if his weapon is still wind. I'm glad that worked out and wasn't completely embarrassing. Let's go with, I guess maybe Water Chaos on the off chance we hit the fire enemy. Right, we're going to heal the water enemy while missing the fire enemy. Fire Chaos. Well, that was not ideal. I think raising the entire party's magic attack and then just doing single hits that are guaranteed to work, like Flow Like Water, as opposed to Water Chaos, to really focus on just doing one at a time, can be a pretty useful option here. I'll use Geomancy All here. So you can press your luck with RNG, but at the end of the day, you don't want to necessarily go backwards in the fight, especially if you're speedrunning this. You have to burst enough of these where you should probably have some sort of plan. I'll use Wind Chaos here, not because it's super effective, because it'll hit because it'll hit twice, just in case I missed once. So that was Fire, Water, Earth, Wind. Want to take a guess as to what might be next? Ice, Lightning, Light, and Dark. Let's use the same setup. Let's actually start with ensnaring them. We could ensnare them, or we could stratagem us. What I use? Stratagem. Let's increase our own agility, which means it's likely for us to go again, move a little bit faster. Let's start off with some Umbromancy. Let's do a Cold Cut. Let's use Ascendancy to increase the magic attack of everyone. And so this looks like it's a reasonable strategy. Call down the Thunder. In StarCraft 1, ghosts say, "You called down the thunder, now reap the whirlwind." So those 2 skills, both of which Marion has, are references to what the ghost says. Let's see, we can still use another Cold Cut. Nice. We can still use... Let's try... we might as well use Umbromancy All. as opposed to just regular Umbromancy. And here's Call Down the Thunder, Reap the Whirlwind. Alright. Level 4 still. So these will take a little bit... you don't get a ton of experience from each battle. As you can see, it's taking a little bit longer to level up, so you might want to keep an eye on your HP and sometimes MP. Like, we're getting a little bit low here. It's not a huge deal. But given how... look how many times 10s we have. There's nothing wrong with using a few of these. Water and ice. The other elementals are on the next. I think they're going to be in the next battle. But I put these two together mainly because I know that sometimes players have trouble differentiating between water and ice, and I just wanted to reinforce how obviously there's snowflakes here and bubbles here, but at the end of the day, ice is darker blue and water is lighter blue, and you'll definitely need to be able to distinguish between those when it's time for the fight against the King of the Slimes. Maybe Fire Chaos will hit a water. There we go. And let's do the usual Ascendancy. And we'll take some hits. You know, overall, over time, this damage does add up. As you can see here, I am trying to use slightly different strategies. Each dungeon I didn't want to be completely redundant. Right, we have to do some increasing of magic attacks here, maybe be a little bit more careful in some areas. If this thunder connects with an ice, that'd be great. There's an ice, and there's a water. Let's just use another Brontomancy All. Okay. And now Fire Chaos will definitely hit at least one water, if not two waters. Unless it misses. You know, keep in mind, these attacks can always miss. Unless it's like healing your party or removing any sort of weird debuffs from your party. I'm making progress. And now, one more Pyromancy should do it. 11,005. There's level 5. Let's switch to a new class. We have 2 more classes to raise to level 5 before we can focus, before I want to focus more on the level 6 through 10. I'm also going to save here. Alright, I'm going to switch to the arrow keys, because the pathing here can be a little bit weird. In fact, this pathing here is in the trailer as well, this little area. Mero's actually running through this darkness in the trailer of our game. So here we're going to start having combinations of obviously the 8 newer, bigger gels, based on each of the 8 elements, as well as the gel doppelgangers from Cedar Slimes, those 6. So let's start off with Stratagem. Now, you can always raise your agility, you can always lower their agility, you can do both to really make sure that you're capitalizing on speed. We should probably start doing some damage. I'd like to start attacking the light ones first, because I know that this enemy here heals and defends in a bunch of different ways, like this barrier, which is actually a really good move considering I'm using magic attacks. Maybe we, we haven't used, Status Ailments in a while. It looks like they're resistant to those, and that's okay. Alright, that was still enough to take out one of them. Fire Chaos, Pyromancy All, Lumimancy All. Again, take a look at this this damage we're taking. It's serious business. Dark Chaos might be able to hit a light enemy. Obviously, it's more likely to hit a fire enemy, right? Like 60% chance versus 40% chance. But I was hoping to take out these light enemies a little bit earlier. Let's see if Judgment can do enough damage. It's a physical attack, not enough. Umbromancy All should take out this gray gel doppelganger, and now we can really focus on some water moves to counter the fire gels. Let's see how much Hydromancy All will do. Right, they may have died if not for the increased magic defense. Well played by the deceased Gel Soother. Umberquad just to hit 4 times. Now that our class is level 1, we'll probably level up a little bit faster than before. Maybe it'll only take like 1 or 2 or 3 battles instead of 4 or 5. Oh, I like that. So, there are 3 different types of battles here. The Ice and Thunders were, or I'm sorry, the Ice and Waters were already done 2 battles ago. So here you'll notice that the 6 remaining colors, we just did Fire and Light, now we're doing Dark and Wind, and then the last 2, which would be Earth and Thunder, like brown and like a bold yellow. Those will be the remaining battles in this general area. Let's do Stratagem again. Increase our own agility, making it more likely for us to go again. We could try Lumomancy All, but I do know that this is the Gel Soother. This Gel Soother does heal, like, a lot. So, let's see if we can take out the green enemies first. In fact, I'm going to focus down this Gel Soother if possible, to kill them as quickly as possible. I know I can't finish them off with Iraq, so let's use this turn to use Ascendancy. It looks like we're going to have to take a round of hits. Nutricoda. Very good attack. Health boost. So that's your regeneration health. Aeromancial. Umbermancial. So again, you need to kind of watch your HP. Obviously, it can get really easy to focus just on Iraq doing offensive damage, but don't forget that Iraq can heal also if you ever need that. Technus Slot. Oh, this should be good because she has a light weapon, right? I like that. Still gonna focus down the wind enemies though. And I want to make sure, well, now the wind enemies are dead, so light chaos would be great. I want to make sure I'm using a light attack against the dark if possible. Ooh, good to see that one down. And let's use Lumaquad. What's the chance that I actually end up hitting both of these? Nice. Almost level 3. Let's just do a quick healing. And now here, what do we say? Earth and Thunder? Earth and Thunder, there we go. Wind Chaos. I wonder how important it was for us to speed up our turn order. So you'll notice here I didn't use like Stratagem this time, just to mix things up a little bit. I would like to kill this small Gel Doppelganger in front, this Gel Guardian. I think I'm remembering, again, that I still have a wind weapon on. Nice. Nutrimancial. How does that do? Alright, wasn't enough to kill either of these two. Wonder if Nutrislot would be enough to take out at least this one. Okay. Now let's focus on the Thunder enemies, because this one will just die from collateral damage, or regardless of the fact that they're not being focused anymore. Ice, Ice, Baby. Alright, we can handle that. Myro can certainly handle it if no one else. Now, believe it or not, we've completed all of the necessary battles in this dungeon already. We don't need to fight any other battles except for the boss. So, you'll see some slow-moving enemies here. What you can do, just to show, if you want to save time, if you're speedrunning, you can just keep escaping, and that will pause each of these spirals for just a moment, allowing you to get through some of them. Sometimes you can get through them without causing a battle. Obviously, if you're speedrunning, this is a lot faster. Got through 2 out of 3 there. I'm using the mouse here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm using the arrow keys here. This is actually pretty easy with the controller, too. This has a bunch of spirals. It has, I think, one of every type of battle, in case you wanted to fight more. But you can also just go around. You can certainly walk in this area here. They'll pile out here, but they won't pass this general area here. And we're essentially done. You can talk to these slimes. Each of these slimes are clearly very loyal to their king. All hail King Camouflageal. Camouflage plus gel, a little portmanteau there. We will not fight you in front of the king, but please be respectful to him. We slimes never had a home of our own until Camouflageal found this cave for us. Camouflageal's parents named him that because he is able to change his colors. Ah, useful battle strategy. Our king holds the hearts and souls of all his silly, slimy subjects. We chose Camouflageal to become our king after he single-handedly saved us from a pack of monsters. We trust King Camouflageal with our lives, and he always protects us. King Camouflageal has the amazing ability to resist and even absorb many attacks. Get our save on. We're going to continue to stay right here. This may be a much shorter episode, although obviously our memory cutscenes are getting pretty long, so we'll have to see about that. Let's check what Mero is wielding at the moment. Doesn't really matter what weapon she's using, because obviously we're going to be using magic attacks, not whacking anyone with the scepter. Earth necklace, that's great, we only get one necklace anyway. I see some ribbons that can be switched around. We did just assign some serious ribbons for Sprig, and before that, Iraq. So let's assign some serious ribbons to Mero. She doesn't need to use Alacrity, her elemental, or her TP move, but having regenerated HP and regenerated MP seems to be useful. She's only going to be using single magic attack Mancy spells, like Umbromancy or Lumamancy. She'll have no reason to use Umbromancy all or Lumamancy all. So quite frankly, she might not even need to regenerate MP at all. I wonder, and I haven't tried this one out yet, but I wonder what happens if I just give her double regen HPs, if she actually ever becomes seriously endangered, or if she just heals so much that we don't even really need to use any sort of items. Also, HP Mini Amulet, we want to definitely trade that out for a Maxi. These are just things to make her even more kind of overpowered in this battle. This looks good. There's no status ailments to worry about. We could make sure that we have the magic defense. I don't remember if Buckler's maxed. I think so. Does anyone else have anything? Oh, Tarj. I'm going to switch this to... Let me remove this. I want to see just how strong I can make my setup here. Counter magic defense. Let's give the Scutum to Marion. What else can we do here? Diviner's Hat. That is already increasing magic defense? Let's see. Magic defense, yeah. So this is about as strong as you can expect for Mero to be. We'll regen some HP. Let's just save the game. And let's just get fighting. Here we go. It's time for another showdown. Bum-ba-bum. Here we go again. It's the leader of the Blob Baddies. Pardon us, your majesty. We do not wish to trespass on your home, but we have a sincere favor to ask of you. My comrades and I have been journeying around the world, looking for King Guffin of Hargoth and seeking treasures for him. Our quests have brought us to your grotto, as we have heard that you hold one of the fabled pieces of a medallion. We would be eternally grateful if you would allow us to buy or win your half of the soul medallion. What the? Whoa! Yay! That was a lot easier than I thought. Can I be honest with you all? Of course, your majesty. I am exhausted. What do you mean? I was hoping that winning this trophy would bring pride and joy to my slimes, and it certainly has, but it's also brought countless invaders to our home to try and take it from us. I fear that keeping this medallion piece is causing us more trouble than it's worth. Then how about we just take the piece off your hands for you, so it's a win-win? Unfortunately, it's not quite that simple. It never is. I am responsible for defending our home, and surrendering so easily to you might cause my slimes to lose faith in me. We understand what it feels like to want to protect others, and to make sure they are healthy, and to want to spend time with those you care about. And that means you're supposed to be making the right decisions, even when they hurt. I care too much to give up so easily, and I don't want to let my slimes down by showing weakness. So instead of showing them weakness, how about you show them your resilience? Fight for them and put your heart into it. Let's go. Marrow is in a fighting mood. This is water, light blue. Now if I attack with a different element, let's say I use Geomancy. Now Geomancy shouldn't do anything, right? Because it's water that should be healing. If I do Geomancy, it heals. So to be clear, if you get the element wrong at all, you'll be healing the boss. Not a lot, but you only can use one element. Now, if you use Nutrimancy, which is no element, you can still do some damage, but it won't be nearly as much damage as using the proper attack, or the proper element. I'm at 9819 out of 11270. Let me see how much health I get back. Okay, so am I just basically invincible? Let's see if I can finish this battle before I have to use a tonic. Alright, lowered my magic defense significantly, so I'll probably take significantly more damage when King Camouflage gets around to actually hitting me with something. Alright, took a little damage there, now I'm in the 9,000s. I guess maybe Nutrimancy is enough? When we're against Dark or Light, Lumacoda and Umbracoda, it only saves like 1 or 2 moves. It's not a huge deal, but it is one benefit of playing this dungeon really late in the game. You'll have Lumacoda and Umbracoda unlocked. Obviously, you'll have all the regular Mancies first. This is Earth type? Nope, this is Fire type. You can see how it's kind of close to Orange, but it's a little bit more red. And so for that reason, we'll have to use Hydromancy. I really don't think I'll be in any danger of dying, mainly because on the rare occasion where it actually uses that debuff on me, I'm still going to get a free turn to heal. So unless it consistently always hits me with damage, which it didn't do there, I'm pretty safe. I already have full health, and I'm going to heal again. I'm healing, keep in mind, I'm healing 10%. See 11,270? I think I'm healing 1127 every time. We'll take a look at this. Do I heal 1127? Yeah. That's because each HP regen ribbon gives you 5% health back. And so I've got 2 ribbons, 5 plus 5 is 10 last time I checked. And so I get 10 health back for free after every single one of my turns is over. So unless it's hitting me, you know, well over 1,000 damage, I'm not really in any danger of anything here. I'm probably in more danger of losing magic points, which isn't a big deal at all. And that's only because I use Lumacoda, and I'm going to use Umbracoda just for the heck of it. If I can afford it. Which I think I can afford it with the amount of MP left. So, obviously there's 8 different forms. That should be kind of obvious, given that there's 8 different elements, that would be consistent with everything. You don't have to switch to Nutrimancy, see that actually didn't pay off. I was trying to save a little bit of magic points, but it looks like this is about to end. We're getting closer and closer and closer, and let's see what happens here. Over 12,000 damage. Level up, awesome. From level 3 to level 6, because these bosses, the amount of experience and gold you get from bosses is way higher once you get to monster levels 3.0 and 4.0 also. It's not just the normal monsters throughout the dungeons. So whichever one of your characters ends up fighting in the last 2 dungeons in their solo battles, they'll get the most experience in general. Alright, these slimes are kind of pissed. What is going on here? Have you attacked King Camouflage? We will destroy you, intruders. These humans have done nothing wrong. In fact, today they have helped us all. We have question marks all over the place here. I have come to realize that keeping a medallion piece in our home makes us a target for enemies. While other invaders have exhibited greed, malintent, and a disregard for us slimes, these 4 humans are the first to show me kindness, deference, and humility. We're awesome, aren't we? I am grateful for being bested by one who clearly cares so much about others and embodies a soulful nature. You have earned my prize trophy, and I hope that this means that Cedar Slimes and Goo Grotto will no longer face frequent attacks. You obtained one of the 2 Soul Medallion halves. Ka-ching. I hope my fellow slimes will continue to put their trust in me. Here we go. With each medallion piece, I keep being reminded who I'm fighting for, why I'm on this journey. I'm again going to hold down the spacebar, just to move things along. We have 7/8 of the cutscenes completed. So Sprig has 7/8 done. There'll be kind of one flashy color scene left. Sprig, and as well as obviously Arak, Marin, and Marrow, they'll each have 7/8 of their completed medallion memory done. As you can see here, Sprig, along with a whole army led by Edel, is protecting the kingdom in general, fighting off some monsters. They're experiencing some casualties along the way. There's a couple other NPCs here that you might have seen around the castle. They're continuously fighting more monsters. It now looks like here Edel and Sprig are basically at the same level in terms of taking care of one monster at a time here. They're kicking butt. So Sprig is essentially leveling up through the ranks. Edel's getting older, and now they're kind of dual or co-leading. Edel, as well as these 4 mysterious NPCs, these shadow NPCs, are all taking care of some other enemies. Sprig kind of goes Super Saiyan there. Takes out 4 at once, because Sprig is clearly getting stronger and stronger, becoming a better leader. And now, after a brief conversation, it looks like Edel's okay with Sprig leading the pack. Now we cut to a situation here where these other NPCs, which were in the army earlier, are just hanging around. Edel is bringing Sprig over to King Guffin. At this point in time, King Guffin is allowing Sprig to take charge because Edel will be retiring from being the general, the leader of the army. We didn't see what happened there, but we do see King Guffin taking some other NPCs who were in the army, who were very, very strong, and moving out while Sprig was sleeping. Sprig is obviously kind of concerned because he doesn't know where King Guffin went. And the Queen and the Prince and the Princess are explaining that King Guffin left without Sprig. And so now we see that Sprig is quite upset. And now we move on to Marrow. As we've seen before, Artania is teaching these 5 pupils a bunch of different magic attacks, all of which Marrow has learned throughout her different classes. Everything seems to be moving along swimmingly. Artania is demonstrating, and a student is copying. And clearly you can see by all the hearts that everyone's having a wonderful time. And as a teacher, this is obviously what we generally want to see. We want all the students paying attention, loving every second of class. And everything seems to be moving along well. And then now Marrow kind of comes in, gets the attention of everyone, walks around doing some crazy elemental, crazy attacks. Again, Artania's kind of ticked off that their lesson has been ruined. So now we actually get to see where Marrow is, because before we hadn't seen this cutscene clip before, this 8th. Marrow just kind of runs ahead and does her own thing because she's Marrow, and that is what Marrow does. Now everyone's kind of looking for Marrow. Hey, where'd Marrow go? Let's head up into this Hutfoot Hut cabin here. Artania finds them. They're all just kind of half practicing and half kind of goofing around too. You'll see the goofing around in just a second when they all kind of go crazy. We don't see that just yet. That's still clipped out. Marrow goes from teaching to running away again because she loves that adventure and she loves that beating up of the baddies. She deserts her students, which was alluded to earlier on at the very beginning of the game. More monsters. She really likes helping out, whether it's Old Providence Town or a bunch of monsters here. Kind of gets distracted easily. Goes back, sees Artania's taking over the class because there was no teacher left. Mero's a little bit older now, and that's where she's left. And we see Arak and Rania running through. Very happy together. I took my hand off the spacebar, so this is a normal speed. They're healing and helping everyone. Humans and animals. We move from spring to summer now. You see these clocks here. I haven't really talked about the clocks much. Also, you see all these NPCs. These are the NPCs from Everfrost Village, as well as Maragon, the anagram girl by the bridge. These are all NPCs who we've talked to at the very beginning of the game when we were riding solo with Arak. We see some puppies, because I love puppies, and I can do that. It's my game. There's some cats, too. These clocks, if you pay attention, they slow down over time from spring to summer to fall to winter. To also represent the passage of time and how they are getting older. In fact, at this point, now that we're in fall, Arak's hair has turned white. It's a little bit harder to see. Right there, you can see it. It's whiter than the normal gray. The clocks are moving a little bit slower. This is fall season. Things are green. You see some farmland and flowers. I think this next piece is the piece that we don't have yet. It's the second half of fall. Okay, there's the clip out. And then we combine winter. You can see that not only do the clocks slow down compared to like spring and summer, but our lovely Arak and Rania are slowing down as well. They're moving slower, moving more slowly. Spoiler alerts throughout this entire thing, obviously. But this is the final eighth that they're going through now with the double bushes. And at the end of winter, you can see Rania's clock down here has stopped. And so at the very end of the game, we'll see this bush representing Rania's grave. Because Arak still has a little bit left in him. He's a lot older than the game is letting on. And it's kind of the journey of Arak and Rania, which we'll see again when we have 8/8 of the medallion pieces, as well as a final time when we rescue King Guffin. Here we've got our Marion, kind of begrudgingly following her mom. I'm going to hold down spacebar again just to move this along. This is back into the Lutz daycare. The mom is like, "Come on, Marion, we've got to go." And the Marion's like, and our Marion is resistant to going. All the other girls see Marion. They're like, "Who are you?" Marion's like, "Mom, do I really have to be here? Lord Lute and Lady Lute are awesome, but at the same time, our Marion seems to be not too happy about being left behind while her mother goes off on a quest for the king, to help the king. Marion still misses her mom. This is Marion's mom having second thoughts, kind of slowing down, looking back, feeling bad about leaving her daughter behind. Should I maybe go get her again? The gate is opened. I guess we're going to have to go through. We've got the split screen. Marion's mom is still kind of resting, or kind of pausing on the left. We are going to have a color cutscene clipping in just a moment. But everyone else is coming in here. They're all seeing different toys. It looks like Marion's excited to see a toy too. We don't know what happens yet. Now all of a sudden it seems that the sprites have changed somehow, which we'll be able to fill in next time on what is going on here. We've got our Marion over here, but with lighter hair. And this purple-haired girl is clearly very happy and singing. And then we have looking back and moving forwards. And now we're back in Gugrado. Let me save again. We're almost done. I just want to talk to these slimes one more time. Thank you, adventurers. I will continue to watch over my slimes. Perhaps one day you may fight against my strongest and noblest warrior. That strongest and noblest warrior was the one hanging out in front of Goo Grotto, who we will see one more time in the post-game palace. I'm not sure if I agree with his decision, but I still respect the king for doing what he feels is best. We still love King Camouflagel. We slimes don't need a medallion to tell us that we care about each other. I think the king's decision was reasonable. Medallion or no medallion, King Camouflagel will continue to care for all of us. Trading away a trophy for the possibility of peace was a very wise and selfless exchange. Even if the intruders keep coming, we'll be ready for them. That was a tough decision to make. I'm just glad that I didn't have to make it. I think it's time to travel to the beginning of Cedar Slimes, avoiding all enemies. Yes, I want to lead. How are we on gold? Okay. If I remember, the final dungeon, which is Talent Tower, is going to have a battle with Marion, and so if I remember, I will end up stealing or looting the boss, just so I can get double the gold. This is where we're going to end off today, with this signpost, which has, I think, the longest poem out of all the signposts in my game. Knowing the thrill of Talent Tower is showing some skill, not gallant power. Strategize movement and zigging and zagging, or else as a speedrun your time will be lagging. Some stairs are correct while others are fake, and your progress depends on decisions you make. Be as timely as a clock so you reach the 12th floor. Here's a start to your walk if you want to keep score. Go to 1, and then next you will move on to 6. After 3 and 10, just so you're vexed, the rest will test your professed zest as you guess against the best tricks. Each correct stair is at a different station, so climb them with care and don't you dare forget to swear by the process of elimination. Ascent or descent will reset some of the troops. Don't be upset or resentful, just be mindful when you're climbful, as this is intentionally designful. Make sure you have all of your gear, weapons and armor and items right here. In Talent Tower you cannot escape from a fight, but with proper preparation you will be alright. Be thorough and focus on climbing the levels, of your classes, not just the floors. Defeat the masses, win many bouts, and without any doubts the medallion will be yours. How are we on classes? 3363. Let's just move Mero to 1. That'll throw off some stuff, but that's kind of okay for now. We're so close towards finishing up everyone's levels, right? 3 and 3, same difference. Do I need to prepare with any specific equipment? I don't. It doesn't really matter what medallion or what ribbons I have or don't have. I think we're set. So I'm going to save the game. I'm going to exit the game, and I will see you next episode, where we pass through Talent Tower in episode 15. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more clips about Mango Mischief, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. The Steam link for my game, as well as all Mango Mischief social media links, are posted in this video's description. I think you'll enjoy my satirical, retro-style, turn-based JRPG, and if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section below. Thanks!